Hey guys, what's going on? John here from What's Spinning, here tonight to chat about this new Bumper EP Pop Songs 2020. Bumper is the newly formed synth pop indie pop duo of Michelle Zauner of Japanese Breakfast fame, as well as Ryan Galloway from the band Crying. Now, going into this EP, I mostly am covering this because I'm a big fan of each. There's also a really interesting story behind this EP. They live very close by to each other in New York and apparently haven't seen each other since the start of quarantine, but have been doing this EP via email. And for the most part, it's a pretty sweet little indie pop, synth pop EP. Starts off with You Can Get It. And you know what? It is a little clunky. It's very manufactured sounding, but within that you get Michelle's very angelic, sweet vocals. And if you're really a fan of her, you know her interests and know what makes her tick, you know that that's kind of her gig. And like I said, the production isn't that up to snuff, but I'll allow it because the rest of this track is just a really loving ballad filled with life and love. Even with awkward charms here and there, these two actually sound more in sync than I expected. And between the twinkling synths and the very dreamy atmosphere, I actually think this is a really nice intro. Blacklight, on the other hand, is a little bit more laid back, a little less carefree. It's very rigid sounding. It's not very loose. And you know what? Once again, I actually like a bulk of this track quite a bit. I love the laid back and very breezy chorus. And it has a subtle groove to it that I think is pretty cool too. I mean, this isn't exactly revolutionary synth pop here, but when 2020 stops being a pain in the ass, I'd actually like to hear these two in the studio doing this with a little bit more cleanly production. Because the good here, trust me, is really, really good, like Michelle's very moody performance and these throwback synths. And Red Brick may be the most DIY sounding track here, but I do think that the duo make the best of it, and actually this may be the catchiest track of the bunch. Not only that, but I think this is the best track here, glitchy pauses and all. It's just so undeniably full of life. And because the rest of this track is just right up Michelle and Ryan's alley, they actually pull it off wonderfully. I will say this though, Ballad Zero as a finale here, I am not into this at all. This is by far the weakest track here. Everything that was remotely charming and sweet and down to earth about the rest of this album just flew right out the window with this. The other tracks here have had this great observation of feelings that we've been having throughout the year, but this is just seriously underwritten and, dare I say, boring. I mean, maybe this would be better if it was put together and actually done in an actual studio, but come on, this is just not a very good ballad at all. So you know what? I think this is a pretty sweet little indie pop and synth pop EP. I mean, it's nothing revolutionary. Sure, the production isn't anything to sniff at either, but I think that Ryan and Michelle on this EP have some genuine chemistry and write some seriously longing synth pop tracks. Just stay the hell away from that ballad, and that's just my thoughts on this thing very quickly. I'm feeling a light 7 on this EP, but let me know what you guys think down below. If you like the video, be sure to give us a like, give us a subscribe, and let me know down below what you would like for me to chat about in the future. And until next time, have a great day, guys.